a grunt room, man. It is Wednesday. It's hump day, man. We're halfway through the week, and I am excited about tonight, man. Tonight we've got Cody Howell. Cody Howell is the result of Western sound, man, and you all are going to get the chance to hear his music tonight. Midwestern heart and honest to goodness country lifestyle, drawing inspiration from artists like Randy Rogers, Dierks Bentley, and Zane Williams. His passion for storytelling incites connection and good times through sheer musical authenticity. The Kansas native served 7 years in the United States Navy before settling in Nashville to pursue music full time, attend Belmont University, and support organizations like Project K9 Hero that help veterans and their families. Upon the move to Music City, Howell linked up with renowned musician and producer Kent Wells. Since then, he has proven to be an unstoppable force, appearing as background vocals on Dolly Parton's highly anticipated rock album, Rockstar. Cody Howell's first solo project, Any Way You Go, is available now with plans of a full album release around the bend. And y'all are going to get the chance to hear it tonight. Let's bring on Cody Howell. Hey, what's going on, brother?
How's it going, man?
Hey, great, man. Hey, I want to let you know too, man, that cover for that song, I absolutely love it, man.
Dude, I love it. We went through like three different options
Uh-huh.
uh, on what we wanted to kind of feel like we wanted to do, and I actually tossed it out on my Facebook page and kind of because I wanted to go with that at the get go, to be honest, but but the label was a little bit like, wait, let's get some options here, and so I went and made some different mock-ups and whatnot, and then everybody said, no, you got to go with that photo. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it, man.
Hell
So
yeah.
give everybody a quick rundown, man. Where'd you grow up as a kid, and tell them kind of what brought you to the Navy. How did you end up there?
Yeah, so growing up, I'm a preacher's kid. My dad is still a pastor at Calvary Baptist Church in Parsons, Kansas. That's where I grew up, Southeast Kansas, and grew up there, and then kind of started working construction. Started listening to a little country music while I was working construction, while at the same time I was starting to learn song leading, dude. I was my my dad was like, dude, you gotta like you're the guy right now. We don't have a song leader, so you gotta figure it out. So uh so I did a little song leading in church and then picked up the guitar. My dad played the guitar a little bit. Uh um, you know, I learned the guitar and not a little bit. He plays the guitar. But anyhow, you know, it was so I learned the guitar that way a little bit, and then started kind of getting in the musical thing.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and then got and I was homeschooled, so it was homeschooled. Boom, went to Lubeck Community College for uh, I got an associate's degree in audio engineering, and
Okay.
then I wanted to do music, man. I wanted to do music. I don't know, something set in my brain said like you got to do music. So it was just there. But then whenever I graduated the associates, whatever it is, I don't know how to say it. Whenever I got the associate's degree,
Uh-huh.
I had two options. It was like go to Nashville or give my time to the country, you know, and we grew up patriotic. All my brothers and sisters, there's nine of us. My mom instilled a lot of patriotism into us, so I wanted to give my time to the country while I was still young. And
Right.
then after I joined, I learned you get free college too. If you
Yeah.
so, I went for 7 years. Was on the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson, for I think about 3 years, and then special operations was looking for people, so I put in a package and then got to go to the East Coast for 3 years, and then boom, I was like after after that I was like because I wanted to get off the carrier, and
Yeah.
yeah, and so I went to this Spec Ops side, which was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun, and then man, it was just music was still there though. So I was like, I gotta get out, I gotta get out, I gotta get out, I gotta get out. So I got out, used my GI ability, get me to Belmont or get me to Nashville. Belmont University is in Nashville. It's like one of the best music uh, colleges. So I used my GI Bill to get me kind of up here, and it, and
I got
then just started here about 3.5 years ago. So
okay.
yeah,
Well,
man.
I hope I picked the Navy background. I hope I didn't. I'm not giving you nightmares from the air. The fact that if I would have known you was going to the spec ops side, I would have found something more suiting. You know, I did the same thing. I was in the army and I spent 10 years in the special ops side and absolutely loved it. So I can relate, man. It's like night and day from the regular military to the special ops side. So I know
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, because like sometimes I mean, like I don't, I don't know who if people that's in the military is like watching and stuff, like they know, like okay, there's a lot of not common sense stuff to kind of but it's a process. It's built for that because it's got to be, in a sense. But once you go to the spec ops side,
It's the big
special operations side, then like everybody's on more of a, oh, okay, all right, I got you. It's more of a common sense, I guess. I don't even know if I should have said that, man. But
board program.
it's it's truth, though. A little bit.
It is, man.
Well,
So where all were you stationed prior to the specs op? Was you constantly out in the ocean the whole time, or
yeah, so went to or did Chicago boot camp or whatever. Then went to Maryland, Fort Meade, Maryland for a 6 month A school. Maybe it was a 4 month A school. I think it was a 6 month A school. Anyhow, so did that. Then went over straight to Carl Vinson, and then yeah, man. So we did a 10.5 month. We did plenty of underways,
yeah,
but we did a 10.5 month deployment over where we was in war with ISIS, and so we just like went over there to the Persian or Arabian Gulf,
yeah,
whatever the proper term is to call it, and then we were just pushing out planes and bombing,
yep.
trying to do trying to get rid of that
Give,
you
giving them,
know
so did you take a guitar with you? Was you playing music while you were on the aircraft?
Yeah, so I wrote like maybe like uh I wrote a lot more songs before I went into the Navy, and while I was in the Navy, I guess I my writing went way less. But while we was on that 10.5 month deployment, we had a guitar, so I think I wrote maybe I don't even think it was 10 songs. I think it was like seven or something. But I wrote like 7 songs while I was on there. But I was, we were still playing different cover songs and everything, and then it was kind of cool, dude. They had it was like American Idol for uh our 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 ship, It was no, I don't, maybe not American Idol. It was more like a talent
Uh-huh.
show or something, but it was like 4 or 5 weeks long. It
Okay.
was fun. So I didn't win, but it was all like the way they voted. It was like they had this whenever they do the other online system. But most people voted for like who was in their department.
Hmm.
So it was like, you know, it wasn't really like
Talent is
who yeah, it wasn't really like who's the best talent. It's like, no, we want this person to win, and they just brought their force of their department. So, but it was fun though, you
Yes,
know.
your buddy, man. You got to vote for your buddy, man.
Yeah, dude, that's badass. I didn't know if we was allowed to drink beer or anything
Oh,
on this.
absolutely, man. Like I said, we keep this relaxed and we have a
Hell
good,
yeah!
you know.
I poured my beer into this white can. I got two beers in here right now.
Works, man. Normally I drink bourbon, so I got bourbon back there. I got some shine downstairs, so we keep it pretty well loaded up here.
Nice. What's your favorite bourbon?
So that far corner, let me see if I can see how I'm doing it here. Right there is a little white bottle called Walker's K. So
Okay.
it's got a little marlin on it. That's all the logo on it. It's a little cheap bottle, $35. Hard to find, but man, it's very smooth. I have to order it online to get it, but yeah, it's not expensive. It's kind of got a kind of almost like a rummish taste, man. It kind of reminds you of like a rum, but yeah, it's
Nice.
yep.
I
I
I
also like
built
MV2. I got that up there too.
hell yeah. I was in Virginia. They had the well at the what is it called? Trying to remember. Wherever it is on base, they get you get really good liquor prices.
Yeah, Class Six.
So yeah, I stocked up on a bunch of different bourbons.
Yep.
Whichever one was kind of on sale, but I would just keep getting them on sale and stock them up. I bought a house in Virginia and then built a little bar in the garage,
Mhm.
and then I had my little rack on the backside, and so I just slowly stocked it, and then it was a lot of good times. But
Yeah,
yeah, anyways,
all about, man. You know. Yeah, I also, like I said, I got a barrel down there that I stick the shine in. I let it age in an oak barrel, and whenever we do some of these veteran events, I pass it out and give it to I put it in little pint bottles and pass it out to the veterans and just have a good time, man.
you'll have to let me know whenever you do one of those events where you're giving it out, man.
Well, believe it or not, actually, we're coming to Nashville for an event called Hero Stock in in July. In July.
Hell yeah, dude, I'll be there. Oh, oh, hit the table. Let
So,
me know.
yep, I will keep you updated, man. Absolutely. So
Hell
let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about this Dolly Parton, man. How was that? That had to be pretty badass.
Yeah, so I mean, just the same way as I think a lot of people that have been in the military know it's like grind, grind, grind.
Yeah.
So whenever I got out of the military and then came to Nashville for uh to go to college and whatnot, and I was like, I want to do music still. So it was like grind, grind, grind. So I was out like every night,
Mhm.
meeting like 30 people, sometimes 50 people every night, sometimes 10. But I swear I met probably 50 uh somewhere from probably at least like 50 to 200 to 300, probably 50 to 300 people every week.
Wow.
And then it was just going, going, going. So I think I met like 5,000 people before I met Kent Wells, uh, Dolly Parton's producer, Kent Wells Production. Uh, and so then we ended up I showed him some songs and stuff, and he's like he's kind of digging it, so I was like, okay, cool. So he wanted to work with me and whatnot, and then so we started working on my kind of my songs, my ep and whatnot, and and then in the process, the song that is released now, Anyway You Go.
Mhm.
So I had four I had my wife, uh and Angie and Ben in there doing the background vocals.
Okay.
So we was singing the background vocals on Anyway You Go, where it goes, Anyway You Go, Anyway You Go, the whole crowd sound. And we did that, and then boom, got that done. And then it was like 2 days later, Kent hits me up. He says, "Hey, uh, we need some background vocals for Dolly Parton's thing, but you can't. No one can tell no one because Dolly Parton hadn't put out that she was even doing a rock album yet. So it's like top secret in the music world, you know. And so uh, I was like, well, okay, my wife's good to go. And okay, can you hit up the other people you had before? I was like, okay, yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh wait, well, 1 second. Let me call you back in like uh 10 minutes or so. So boom, he called me back and said, all right, just bring you and your wife because he already had some other people that ended up wanting to go. So yeah, man. Then it was like we just went in there and it was we did Purple Rain, uh We Will Rock You. It was We Are the Champions. It kind of switches into We Will Rock You. You can kind of hear my voice because I mean I think there was like 7 or 8 people singing,
Mhm.
on the backing tracks we did. And my wife was there too, and she like that was cool, just to get her on that because she's not like she sings. I like her voice, but she's not really a singer or anything. So
Yeah.
she's like, we will, she's singing like that a little bit, but either way, she's got her credit, so that's cool,
Yep.
but so yeah, we did Purple Rain, uh, We Will Rock You, or We Are the Champions, kind of switches, and then oh, what is it? The new one, World on Fire, and then man, I can't whichever other ones, but
Man. So did you actually get to meet Dolly too, or did you
yeah,
that dude that has to be badass right there.
it was cool, man. So I didn't get whenever we were recording and singing and everything, like it wasn't while she was there or anything,
Right.
but there working with Kent though, there's been a few times where like I came in like 10 minutes after her,
Mhm.
or like because I've been told a couple times like, wait, I know you're supposed to come in at 12, but can we push it to 12:30? And then I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. And then, oh, wait, can we push it to 1? I'm like, because Dolly's, but I've been pushed out of my spot time limit or whatever my spot was, but how can you get mad at that,
She is kind of the queen of country, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I mean, you're like, hey, if I'm getting pushed out because of this, I mean, that's a story already,
If
But
those were challenge coins, military challenge coins, I think she would have the largest challenge coin, man. I don't think anybody would outrank her.
dude, she's gone iconic, man. Like, and I mean, even like, I mean, I feel like she was already pretty much iconic, but
Mm.
like, I feel like this album was like, I mean, it's the last of that rock era.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not the last, maybe there'll be a few other ones, but it's like I mean, that's a big one for it's the end of an era. And I wasn't born in the 70s and in the 80s and whatnot. So like I was born in the early 90s, so like I didn't get to see a bunch of that. So like just being able to be a part of that,
Yeah,
is kind of cool.
she's brought that era of music and has transitioned into modern day. And like you said, now she's doing a rock album. I mean, holy crap, you know, that's pretty impressive, man.
Dude, yeah, it's a whole thing in itself, like I mean, iconic, man, like yeah, I know I'm just like this tiny little baby portion of that, but dude, you can hear my freaking voice in. I know, dude. I was thinking, I was like, man, hopefully I can hear my voice somehow through this, but I think I got a little bit of distinct singing voice because it came through, and so whenever she released World on Fire, it was on the ACMs, and then they had our voices on there and whatnot, and I was like, I could hear myself, man, and I was like, that is freaking cool, you know?
Well, why don't we, while we're talking about, why don't we play your song and then we'll get into your song, man.
Yeah, man, hell yeah.
We'll let everybody hear um, Cody Howell. Any way you go.
You could go with the girls, yeah, you could go with me. You could go with the good old boys. It don't much matter, it's all good company. You could go in your boots, put 'em on. You could go in your jeans, pull 'em up. You could go in your yellow sundress. Either way, you're a gorgeous gal to me. But anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place. To a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgates. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pee until the end. Anywhere you go, well, you could go with the flow. You could go against the grain. You could cut your own damn path. And just as long as you stay in your own lane. But anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place. To a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgate. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pee until the end. Anywhere you go. You could go with the Cures or the Bush, the Miller or the White Claw, the Jack or the Jill, just to get your blood flowing. When you get it done, I'm gonna been well. Well, it'll get you where your get time's gone. 'Cause anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place. Up on Friday night, throwing down our tailgate. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pee and PM. Yeah, we can drink and pee and PM. Anywhere you go. Come on now, hurry up. We got a lot of time. I'm trying to get there, man.
All right, man. So let's get in. Let's unpack this song, man. Where did this come from? Where was the inspiration from this? Because this was a good time.
Yeah. It started in a freaking dream, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I don't know why, but I had a dream like we was walking out of Walmart with like a group of people,
Mhm.
and we like three different vehicles or whatever, and I remember sitting in I think it was a Jeep or something, and this gal was like, "Wait, should I ride with you or should I ride with who?" And like she was indecisive
Mhm.
on who she should ride with, and so that was where the I was like, it don't matter. You go where we're all going to the same place. It don't matter. Just hop in somewhere. That's where kind of the original. And then whenever you wake up from a dream and you got about 1 or 2 minutes before you forget it all.
Yeah.
Well, I woke up and was able to like jot down the idea and whatnot that I'd kind of had real quick before I forgot it. And then yeah, I jotted it down, and then I think I got back to it like later that day, and then it just kind of flowed out. I don't know. It just like kind of flowed out, and I got the first verse and the chorus, then the chorus written, and
Mhm.
then uh didn't necessarily get stuck. I started to kind of like write the other parts and whatnot, but it wasn't like there a little bit, like first verse and chorus was good, but if you know any songwriters, they kind of get stuck at you'll get the verse and the chorus, and then you
Yep.
kind of yeah. So I kind of had some ideas and whatnot where I wanted to go, and then I hit up my buddy Jason Johnson. Uh, I don't know if you know him, but I'm gonna give him a tag real quick, or give him a little whatever it's called.
Give him a plug, man.
Yeah, so Jason Johnson, he did a army, so he's with you. He did army, uh, and then he's like a canine handler, and he got out, and a lot of the like military working dogs,
Mhm.
uh, after they get out of the military, they don't have um like retirement, like they don't have it's not taken care of. There's nothing that takes care of their food or their medical bills or anything like that. So he started a nonprofit. It's called Project K9 Hero, and I think I might be wrong. Don't take my word on this, but I think it's the biggest uh, military working dog slash uh, first responder because he does police as well as border patrol dogs and everything now. But I think I'm pretty sure he's the biggest nonprofit for all that. But anyhow, yeah, check him out though. Project K9 Hero. I think it's like projectk9hero.org. But yeah, they do everything from all the dogs and stuff getting out. They because a lot of them have to stay with like some sort of trained handler. Like you can't put an attack dog, just with
Yeah.
anybody, man. So anyhow, I think like 90% or like 80% go with their original handlers. Like, but but the the nonprofit still gives them uh, food as well as medical bill stuff and everything. And then the ones that are dude, dogs got PTSD too.
Oh yeah.
Like and like one of them is Rosso, and dude, that dog bit me. He did. Rosso protected Trump, and uh he was in Secret Service for a while, and then he did some thing. But I was hanging out with Jason. We're riding around on the canine compound thing, and I was like, hey man, like we might be able to let this dog out. I think the dog might like me, And he's like, and he's like, he's right. He's like, all right, if you're stupid enough, but he was there though. But sure enough, like everything was cool, like everything was nice, and then uh, but then I lost sight of him for a second, and he lost sight of me. So whenever Rosso and me re saw each other, he's like, "Ah," and he came up and yeah, he snagged the side of myself, and I haven't been I haven't been scared, but I was scared then. I was like, Jason. Anyhow,
The way
but
that story, that so sounded like a hold my beer moment.
it's it's pretty much sort of like yeah, sort of like that. It was like I think Jason was just like, okay, well, I can't probably tell Cody no because Cody's gonna do, like because I don't know everything I do kind of, I'm like I what's it called? Whenever you're like set on something, so
Yeah.
you're gonna keep trying, keep going. And so he's like, all right, Cody, you know, but I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, is what the Project Canine Hero it takes care of all their medical bills and all the dogs' medical bills and then all of their like food and stuff. They supply that as well as the 10 or 20%, whatever it is, that don't have handlers or they're too messed up a little bit. Then he takes them on the compound and whatnot. But
Okay.
it's yeah, it's pretty cool.
We'll reach out to him and see if he'd be willing to come on the show, man.
Yeah, I'll tell him too. I think he might. Yeah, he does a few. I think he tries to do like one or two different podcasts or what every week. So
Okay.
he's another old son that's on the grind.
Yeah.
Just
It's about
getting there.
your voice out there, man.
Do what? Yeah,
Yeah.
just it's whichever way you can get it. But so anyways, anyhow, on the song anyway you go. Uh, Rapping about back around. So I'm hanging out with him. I'm sitting there like, man, I got the first verse kind of written, the first chorus. The other parts, I kind of have the idea a little bit for it, and then I ended up swinging down over to his place, and it's over in Whitwell, so Whitwell, however you say that, about an hour and a half or 2 hours from Nashville. So I ended up swinging over there, hanging out with him on the weekend, and and then we started to write together on the rest of it, and then it just started to flow in, like all the pieces started to kind of come in, and I was like, okay, this is a cool one. And yeah, he had a big part of the second verse where it's like you can go with flow, you can go against the grain, you can cut your own damn path just as long as you stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Like and so that was pretty cool. But yeah, then it was like I think after that time we kind of wrote it. I think it was like 2 weeks later we met back up again and then finished the song.
Okay.
So it was like
So let me ask you this, man. It's not easy. Everybody knows it's not easy being in the military. How would you compare trying to break through into the music industry compared to a military career? Because I know for a fact it is not easy in the music industry either.
dude, it's scary, man. This is way more scary. Like just trying to like so like I was set a little bit in a um uh I could have stayed in the kind of the same group uh and retired in
Mhm.
you know and it's once you get into the spec ops side, like I mean you that's a lot of people try their whole career to try to get in there, and they don't, so like I was lucky getting in there, but getting out of that and then going to like you're on your own feet. It's not like you don't got a guaranteed paycheck, you don't got to nothing guaranteed, like you're like uh you got to be the one that wakes your own self up in the morning and says, hey, I got to get some stuff accomplished today. And just starting out in the music stuff, like, I mean, I've wasted months, in the 3 years I've been here, I've wasted months, like following down a rabbit trail and then it not result in anything, and it's like, oh, okay, gotta go back, come back to my foundation. Let's
Yep.
restart. Okay, let's link out, like, um, and you don't know if it's gonna work, like I still don't know if it's gonna work. Like, okay, so I'm with my label is Burning Ground Entertainment and whatnot, and like they're doing all the distribution and all the management stuff and PR stuff, but I got to make this one work in order to get the next one to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I only ended up even getting here because I was already on the grind. Like, so it's like, uh, that whole remember you remember the stress management stuff you do in the military? They do the little levels: you green, you red, you yellow. You know, yeah. There's a lot of the red stress on that.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I get it, man, because just because you got a label and everything and they're doing the distribution and the management, but if you're not writing the songs and you're not creating the stuff that's appealing and people are liking and stuff like that, that doesn't mean the paychecks are going to be there. So yeah, I get it, man. It's still on you, you know, the weight and the and everything still comes on you. So yeah, I get it. That would be stressful, you know. And it was a wake up call. So when I got out of the military, I opened up my own, I couldn't find a job, so I created a job by opening up a trucking company. And I didn't know shit about business, and I didn't know shit about a trucking company. And I did that for 6 years, and I learned real quick that there's a lot of weeks that the business got paid, but I didn't get paid, and it sucked. And I did the same thing. I tried different things and shit didn't work, and I had to back up and regroup. And yeah, so I can relate, man. And it
Yeah,
would be tough, you know. But
it's
I think the fact that you're passionate and you're talented, I can't see how it won't work. You know, I you
man.
know
Hopefully,
you
yeah,
you think about this, right? How many musicians are out there gigging right now? Would you say on average, probably 100,000 easily?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, probably.
Out
It's
of a hundred
probably.
thousand, how many you think probably has ever been a backup singer for somebody like Dolly Parton?
Ooh, no. Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
That tells
Good
you
point.
you're doing the right things. You're putting in the work, and that
What's
work getting noticed. So I think I think that's one of the things that I love about the veteran community, and I've always said it. Given the opportunity, the veteran community will we just don't quit. You know, we see the mission through. Even I try to see my company through when I should have quitted. Way before when I seen the financial problems, I should have gave up and said, hey, this ain't working. I should have gave it up, and I didn't. I just kept driving through and forward and forward, and I finally did make it through, and I did sell the company, and things did work out, and that drive kept me going when things were looking pretty bleak. But I think that's the difference between that veteran community versus some people that have never gone through those hardships, and going through selection courses like you were talking about, man. That is one huge shit sandwich that you have to take a bite out of. Every day sucks. I know, man. I, I I just was thinking back about how many days selection courses just absolutely suck. So, you know,
so?
you make it through that, you're definitely going to make it through any of this stuff.
It's yeah. Dude, there was like, I mean, you said like three really good points in what you just said. Like, because one of them is, uh, I think there's a mentality like there's no plan B.
Yeah.
Plan A is it. We are going to accomplish this no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, and setting your mind like that, like makes any little failure, like you just figure it out, and then you go to the next thing. Uh, and then so that was that's one thought, and then the other one is like, okay, so like here's so like, because people sometimes will say, oh, well, you got lucky doing, getting in this. It's like, well, okay, maybe you could give a little bit to luck, but if you go to a bar and you give you see the hottest girl there,
Hmm.
all right, you give your number to the hottest girl there, you don't got real good chances of her hitting you back up, but you go to the bar, you give your number to the 10 hottest girls there, you got a good chance that one of them will hit you back up. So that's the same way with like,
I go with
you
the
know
99, the 90
coming.
girls.
Yeah, 99. Let's do 99. 10 might not be good enough, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to make sure I save up and, yeah. But you just you spread your chances, I guess, and so one of them's gonna hit, kind of. But it's the drive to freaking get all of those
Yeah.
there, and it's, because it's constant, it's every day, waking up, just same thing. I mean, you're saying, like, because I mean, like you could have given up on what you were doing and then gone and worked for someone else, but then there's still that. This is the third point that I was thinking, uh, freedom. Like I, I'm in America, I have the freaking chance to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Like whatever I want to do. So like, and like, I mean, we just being born and just being in the United States, like you're already kind of almost a one percenter,
Yeah.
compared to a lot of the rest of the world, and so but like don't you know, I think with that freedom mindset, man, and don't waste it. Like don't like you know go do it. Like You're gonna fail 50 to 100 times, and then you're gonna get succeed. You
Yep.
know, like a failure is just, oh dang it, that didn't work.
It starts with what
Let
you
me
said.
get this other.
It starts by getting yourself up out of bed and being productive for that day. Every day doing something to drive yourself forward to equal and accomplish your missions, you know.
Mhm.
And that's what it takes, you know. When you set forth and you want to accomplish your missions, and that's what you were doing. You said it earlier. You were getting up and you were going to the clubs and you were handing out your business cards and you were talking to people and shaking hands, and that may have been a cab driver that you were talking to, but it may not have been. You don't know. You know, the guy you're talking to could have been somebody who knew somebody that you don't know. But you were getting your name known because it takes everybody in this industry. It takes the people that are listening and buying your merchandise. It takes the people that are booking your gigs. It takes the people that are, producing. It takes the people that are running the sounds. I mean, it takes everybody. It's a full circle to make the industry run. So everybody's got to know your name. So you were doing the right thing from the get go. And it started by getting up out of bed and going to work.
It is scary.
It is.
I mean, it's scary because you're like, oh well, I don't. Nothing is like it's not like, I just gotta show up and then I get my paycheck. No,
Yep.
because you don't know if you're gonna have a paycheck.
Yeah.
You have to go every day and like figure out how to get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, and some weeks you don't, you
You have,
know,
you
and
not
it's
only perform, but you have to sell yourself too. You have to produce
oh
yourself, sell yourself. So I mean, you got to be a businessman, a social media manager. I mean, you have to do it all, and it's tough. You know, I talked with a lady. Her name's Barbara Sim. And the first time I thought she was joking with me the first time we talked, but she travels around. She does this what they call van life, and she bought this conversion van and put a bed in it, and it's got a sink, an oven, and everything in it. And she travels around and gigs. You know, she was all the way up in Alaska gigging, and now she's in Nashville. She's in Nashville right now, as a matter of fact. Um, just driving around gigging, loving life, you know. And I was just thinking to myself, man, holy crap. How dangerous. I mean, I drove for 6 years. I know how dangerous it is out there on those streets. There's some crazy ass people out there. And
yeah, get
but she,
into some Baltimore like you.
but she loved it. She's living her dream, and I'm sure she feels the same thing that you're feeling, because she don't know. What does she do when she gets halfway between here and there, and she can't find a gig?
Yeah, and that's like, oh, what do I do now? Like, I mean, because you got bills to pay, you
Yeah.
know, and I mean, if you don't, I mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been everywhere from like $7,000, $8,000 in debt to being $7,000 up,
Yep.
like going back and forth, and I mean, but when you're $7,000 down, $8,000 down, $9,000 down, then you're like, oh, like this is getting close. I'm about to fall flat on my face, like just mud right up in there. And it's yeah, man, it's but if you gotta I think if you got a you know, same thing kind of like I don't know if you're gonna do it, if you got it set in your mind, man, you're gonna do it. And then also like the plan B is easy.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, easy to go to the plan B. But that ain't gonna make your plan A work.
Right.
It
Hey,
if you don't have a plan B, or at least you might can have a plan B, but don't let your mind know that.
yeah.
Like kind of push that aside and like trick your brain, because then you're gonna make sure plan A works.
Yeah.
But
You know, I was listening to a podcast, and a guy, I can't remember, so I may be getting it wrong. He was either an SF guy or a SEAL. I don't remember which, but he said, to make it in any of those elite special ops branches, you have to go to with the mindset that there is nothing else. If you go there with the option of, well, I can just ring the bell and go back to where I came from, you will not make it, because at some
no,
point you're going to be like, fuck this, and just quit. You have to go with the mindset of, if I fail, I have nothing else. There's no options after this. So I
that'll
think
that'll
I think
that'll
that's
get that oh that'll get that brain locked in.
yeah.
There, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. I think that's I think mindset is absolutely a big importance, and I think passion. And you definitely have the passion for music. I mean, this has been in you before the military, and it stayed with you. It's been a driving force for you. So I can definitely tell that. All the way back to your church days when you were leading music. So I definitely think so.
Is yeah, and dude, like people have asked me that question. Where did that come from? I don't know though.
Yeah.
Just got into me.
Yeah. You know,
Like a wind blew through, and I sniffed it in, and I was like, boom, I gotta do this. Like that's pretty much. I don't.
yeah. You know, for everybody, it's weird for myself too because I was never a music guy. Um, so how the radio station came about was um, I started podcasting, and podcasting ended up turning into kind of therapy for me. You know, I did the same thing that a lot of people did. I tried therapy and it didn't work. I went to counselors and it just pissed me off and things weren't going good. But then, we started this podcast and it started out by just talking to friends and other veterans, and we just started reuniting and telling war stories. And it was more so, it wasn't really a podcast. It was more like Facebook Lives, and we were just shooting the shit. And it kind of turned into a podcast, and it turned into people coming on, and we started talking to veterans. And next thing I know, I'm starting to open up and telling more stories, that things I didn't talk about before. And the stories started getting easier and easier to talk about. And I noticed that I was feeling better about some things, and the stories weren't as painful as they used to be. And then somehow, because all I ever had was on 501c's. I had veterans, authors, and then somehow I had Scotty Hastings came on. He was the first musician I came on. And then another musician came on. And I discovered that they kind of had the same problem I did. Nobody really knew me. It was hard to get your name out online, you know. And for myself, I didn't care because the podcast was more so at that point, it was for me. It was more therapy for me than anything. So I didn't care about being the next Joe Rogan. And, but these guys were trying to, like you were talking about, these guys are trying to put food on their table. So it was important to them to get their name out. And I came across this ad, and I don't know, call it Big Brother or whatever, but it was a Facebook ad that popped up that said, start your own radio station for $39.95 a month. And I just got this weird ass idea. I said, well, fuck, that's it. I'll just start a radio station for veterans, and they'll just give me their music. We'll throw it on there and we'll be good. And man, I got a real quick lesson that it's not that easy. There's a lot of red tape to it than just playing people's music, I learned a lot about copyright and all that shit. So I ended up going through and that same mindset, well, I'm not going to just let all this shit quit and make me quit. I started it. Let's finish it. So I went and got licensed through ASCAP and BMI and all them. We pay our royalties just like anybody else would. And now we've got, well, as of this weekend, we'll have 3 stations. We got our mixed channel, we got a country station, and we're going to have a rock station. So, I mean, it's grown, since May. It just started in May. And I just think that's the way the veteran mindset is. The whole veteran community, your buddy with the canine, same mindset. He's seen a problem, and we just want to fix it. We don't care about anything else other than just fixing the problems. So I think that's awesome that the community is out there, and it makes me feel good when I see veterans that have put the country first and then get the opportunity to come back and get their dreams. Because I think, veterans should never be considered those people that are putting in a bottle that says break in case of war, and we don't get the opportunity to have and live our dreams like anybody else would. Like you said, you spent 10 months on a boat. I mean, you're sure as hell not going to go gigging when you live on a damn boat, So it's impossible for a military guy to spend 10, 15, 20 years in the military and have a productive music career. He's not going to be able to put in the same work that somebody that's doing it full time would. So the counterparts it's not even, is what I was getting at. So somebody that never served a day in their life and focused strictly on their music career is going to go a lot further than that person that put 10 years of this country first and then started their music career 10 years later. In your case, 7 years later. So I think it's only fair that musicians have veteran musicians have a radio station that plays nothing but their music. So they don't have to compete with algorithms and other thing with people that have more money to pay for advertisements and stuff like that. So that's where the radio station came from. You know,
See, that's already an inspiration, man. I'm inspired by that. Oh, uh, you
it
know,
irritated me, when I seen the stuff that they were going through, because they all on the podcast, if you go back and watch the show, they all had the same issues. I seen how much of a grind it was, you know, and just even asking you said the exact same thing. Now it's a struggle, man, and I know how competitive it is, and I'm not taking anything away from the civilians that never served. I know it's hard for them too. I'm not saying that it's easy for them to break through in the music career either. It's a very competitive industry, and I tried to do something for comics too. There's several. I don't know, for some reason it's 90% more, but stand-up comedians, they're like a weird bunch, man. You know, but I tried to do something to help them too, and I don't know. It's tough to break into those guys. They're kind of their own little group, but
they're like Submariners.
yeah, yeah.
They're just their own little thing,
Yeah, you
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 know.
all, I've tried to give them a radio station channel for themselves, like a comedy channel. We're getting ready to start a Roku TV channel. I thought about offering them a comedy channel. I, they probably won't take that either. So I don't know, man. But you know, that's another tough industry. Stand-up comedy is another brutal, very brutal industry. So, but there's some funny ass Marines out there. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah. There needs to be I think there's, I can't remember what. There's some page, I can't remember what it's called.
Talking
That
about talking about
do what?
vet TV.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Vet TV or something that does like skits and whatnot and funny stuff.
yeah. They've
But
got a Marine. I think it's a Marine, an Army guy, and an Air Force guy, if I remember right. Are the three branches of the guys that served. They started out on Facebook and doing reels and stuff like that, and man, they've blown up. They are huge now. I've reached out to them to see if they'd come on the show, but they're not interested. they
dirty,
they
dirty bastards.
they too big now. So, well, brother, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your music and how they can any tour dates or any places that you play at, where they can find you and all that good stuff, man.
Okay. So right now, I got another semester in college, so I'm kind of just playing around the Nashville area. But come summer, I'm gonna start touring. But so yeah, all my um social medias, I Cody Howell Country.
Okay.
They're all the same. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the different ones. Cody Howell Country, and then we released the first song, "Anyway You Go," and it's on all the platforms. Cody Howell, "Anyway You Go," Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Or all of the whatever all the platforms are. Pandora. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna wait for Christmas music to get done. 2 months, because you don't want to release a song during Christmas music,
Nope.
because it's just not business savvy. I
No.
think I use that word right. Yeah, okay. Yes, it's not good for business. You don't want to release a song while people are trying to listen to Mariah Carey. So Uh, anyhow, so we're gonna wait till after all this stuff's done. Then some of the other ones are really cool. So the anyway you go is kind of a bonfire song, so it's perfect for the season. But uh, the other songs are like uh solid, man. Uh, we have one kind of half military song on there, but it's not my favorite. Going back to what you were saying. Now I'm rambling a little bit. Sorry, I don't mean to ramble, but I'll get to that in a second, I guess. Okay, so yeah, there's some good ones that are the ones that I'm like I think are like solid, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put them out like mid January or early February, and those are gonna be good. On the military song, that's going back to what you were saying earlier. Uh, after getting out, I didn't want to write. I didn't want to think. I didn't want to like do nothing military,
Yep.
for about 2 years or 2.5 years. I kind of still don't a little bit. Like I'm like, like I'm like I want to get, but and then plenty of other people's like, well, you should write a military song. You should write something. And I'm like, no, dude. Like I don't want to. Like I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about the freaking shit blowing up on a fucking toilet on a fucking aircraft carrier and be like, fuck, what the fuck? You know? Like, and then fucking, or staying in the damn fucking 3 level, out, or freaking blowing out my ear because I was right underneath the air or right underneath the flight deck. So now I got ear problems in this side of my ear, like, I don't, give me some time
Yep.
and then I'll come back to that, and then I'll write a song about what. But Jason wanted to write one, so we wrote a song called Hadley. And it's kind of his hometown as well as uh military like influences, like leaving your hometown to go in the military and then coming back because it's always got a drawback a little bit. Your hometown's always kind of calling your name somehow. I
Yep.
don't know how that, but that's a real thing. I feel like,
It is.
uh, but yeah. So we wrote that. We wrote that one, and but I feel like I got something deeper in me still. They're like I feel like uh, there's still but I don't want to. I don't. It'll come, and when it comes, it's gonna be badass. Let's just say that. There's my military song. Whenever it comes, it's gonna be solid. It's gonna be
When
tight. It's gonna be distinct. It's gonna be there.
Yep.
Uh, but anyhow, we'll release the other songs after the Christmas stuff, and uh yeah, man. There's some really cool songs in there, like especially one Hangups, Heartaches, and Hangovers. That's a really cool one. That's gonna be one coming. But anyhow, all right.
I can't wait. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are also able to hear Cody on Simplify Country and on Vet Mix. So gunroomradio.com, or you can download the app Gunroom Radio. So we will see y'all. I believe the next show is Sunday with Bulletproof Podcast. So I hope y'all join us. There will not be a Conspiracy Friday podcast this week. So, Brian's going to do his vacation. So,
Oh man, you gotta invite me sometime on the Conspiracy Friday one. Nah,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. We try to do it every Friday, man. So, All right, man. We all take care, man. Cody, if you don't mind hanging tight, once we go off the air, I'll chat with you for a few minutes. And
Hell yeah.
all right, man. We all take care. Be safe and have a good day, man.